Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Good evening and welcome to Ways Prime Time. My name is Chioma Kalu. Now, in his Independence Day address, of course, yesterday, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sent a direct message to Nigerian youth, calling them the nation's greatest asset and pledging to continue to give you wings to fly. Now, the president highlighted programs such as the National Education Loan Fund, what we call the NEL Fund, which he said had already benefited over 500,000 students, alongside new initiatives in technology, sports, and entrepreneurship aimed at empowering young people. But beyond the optimism of the president's words, many Nigerians are asking, do the realities on ground reflect these promises? With youth unemployment still high, infrastructure gaps widening, and the Japa wave intensifying. Ways Prime Time, we're going to be unpacking the president's message, separating the rhetoric from the reality, as we ask, what does independence truly mean for the Nigerian youth today? Remember, Ways is all about you, as you are the why in Ways. So be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussions. Head on now to the YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite your friends and family to join the show now. When I open my phone line, as always, I'd really love to hear your insights on this topic. And as always, something I do on this table always, here is a quote for you to ponder on for today. And it's from Kofi Annan. It says, a nation that does not take care of its young will have no future to dream of. I'll take it again. A nation that does not take care of its young will have no future to dream of. I mean, I'm going to get into this much later because it borders on our conversation for tonight. But let's go on a quick break. And when I come back, I'll take you through my news interests for the day. Don't go away. Stay with us. You're welcome back. You're watching Ways, and today we're talking about the youth and their Nigerian dream. So beyond the rhetorics, are there actions to back up? But before we dive into the conversation, here are a few stories that caught my eye today. The first one says, Nigeria now has second highest number of poor people globally, says Yemi Kale. Now, the body of the story says Yemi Kale, former statistician general of the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says approximately 89 million people, or 40% of Nigeria's population, is the country with the second highest number of poor people globally after India. Now, to grasp the magnitude of this number, we can consider that fewer than 20 of the world's 195 recognized countries, larger than just Nigeria's estimated number of the poor. And these dynamics are compounding, he said. Together, these trends threaten the very promise of independence, that every Nigerian should have the opportunity to thrive at home. Now, he continues and says, what went wrong? Well, there are many reasons, but a large part of it lies in policy missteps and costly delays in implementing needed reforms. Now, Kale also said the series of reforms recently introduced are challenging and painful, but are absolutely necessary, noting that there is really no credible alternative. Now, the former MBS boss said consistent and integrity-driven execution of the reforms will turn Nigeria's potential into real, broadly shared prosperity, impacting daily lives beyond statistics and speeches. And there we have it. You know, the reason I picked this story, it wasn't part of the stories I wanted to talk about today, but the reason I picked this story is because just yesterday, the president told us, oh, your worst is over. Better days ahead. Don't worry, all the suffer that you have suffered is enough. It's enough. These are good days, you know. And then the other day, like I globally terrible. This is terrible. So imagine with this start, you go out and you tell somebody, oh, we're doing good economically now. Imagine the reaction you're getting. I put this out there because it has to be something that would prick their conscience at some point. That's if they want to have a conscience. Because at this point, it's difficult to believe that they have one, right? And just as we talked about yesterday, we've marked 65 years. There's just enough that we can take. Let's do better. Moving on to my second story of interest, it says Tinubu. So now this is Peter Obi reacting to the full speech of the president yesterday. He said Tinubu-led APC has destroyed legacies of previous administration. So the body of the story says former presidential candidate on the platform of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has accused the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, of destroying the gains and legacies of previous civilian administrations. Obi made the allegation on Wednesday while addressing journalists in Abuja on the occasion of the nation's 65th independence anniversary. Now, Obi, who noted that the country was on the path to global acclaim in 1960 after it secured independence from the colonial rule, acknowledged the confidence, passion, and determination to build a prosperous Nigeria that would stand alongside the world's most advanced nations. Given a trajectory of its democratic surge since 1999, the former presidential candidate declared that the landmark achievements of the erstwhile ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, in 16 years have been destroyed in a decade of the All Progressive Congress administration. These achievements, he said, were significant legacies of previous administrations. Peter Obi, who recalled debt forgiveness granted to the country under the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, lamented that the nation is facing crippled external debt to the tune of 2.5 trillion. And yet again, they tell us that the worst is over. I don't know what to say. Do with this news what you want. But if you're asking my opinion, I said this before. Nigerians, we have to be ready, you know. If we want a result, we're going to be foolish to continue the same pattern, right? If we want a change, let's try something different. Let's do things differently. Because tell me why we have an external debt of 2.5 trillion. Yes, people will say, yeah, as a business person, borrowing is not bad. You know, it's part of business, you know, business ups and downs, things you just have to do in business. But to the tune of 2.5 trillion, and then we have this amount of debt, and we go about, you know, throwing money anyhow we like. And then just yesterday too, the president came out and he confirmed that we have spent, I think, 330 billion to about 8-point-something million households to cushion the effect of poverty. And I've still asked the question, where? Who received this money? People should come and tell us so it doesn't look like our president is just saying nonsense, right? So yeah, Peter Obi is calling out the president, and in this case, I think we all agree. We cannot be having a crippling debt of 2.5 trillion and we believe that we are okay. The worst is over. No, I seriously doubt that. And moving on to my final story of interest. This is from Atiku Abubakar. He says, Nigeria's ports empty, cracked, people remain hungry. Okay, so the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and leader of the opposition in Nigeria has responded to a glowing speech delivered by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the occasion of the country's 65th anniversary, saying pot is not only empty but cracked and the people remain hungry. Now, Tinubu had earlier in the day earlier yesterday, of course, spoke of turning the corner of laying foundations in concrete and not on quicksand. Yes, I remember the president saying that. And of course, he spoke about the supposed victory in education, healthcare, economy, and national security. Now, responding to that speech, Atiku, through a statement signed by his special assistant on public communications, Frank Shuaibu, said, "The yam may be plentiful, but if the pot is empty, the stomach still rumbles." According to the statement, the president cited the multiplication of schools since 1960, but in many places, pupils still sit on bare floors and write in dust, while teachers abandon classrooms because their salaries cannot buy food. You know, he said the president boasted more of hospitals, but our mothers and fathers still carry candles, syringes, and drugs into wards before treatment can begin. Yes, that still happens. Now, he said, a man who builds many huts without roofs has only built shade for goats. I mean, Atiku is going all parables. Continuing the statement, he said, we were told that billions have been disbursed to poor households. Oh, I just cited that. Nigerians ask simply, where? If the yam was truly cooked, neighbors would perceive the aroma. Across the land, poverty still walks naked and hunger still knocks daily. Yet the government sings of generosity that citizens cannot see or feel. Sadly, this is the reality we live in as citizens of Nigeria. That's what it is. Because, like I said, on paper, Nigeria is doing great. Oh, on paper, we are excellent. Giant of Africa, you know. But when it comes down to the realities, I would always say these people should come down from their high horse, come down from wherever it is they are, and have a quick interaction with the people on the low level. Because, like I said, we don't have middle class anymore. You're either rich or you're poor. It's as clear as day. You know, there's nobody in the middle that will say, okay, at least the middle class, they are helping balance up. No. So you come down from there. You're talking about hospitals. How many times have you gone on a trip, on a medical vacation, or has anybody in your cabinet been treated here in Nigeria? But you talk about these things like, oh, we've given these people silver and gold, and they're being very ungrateful. How many of the schools you're talking about did your children attend? You know, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like I would always say on this table also, you are a servant leader. You were elected to serve us. So you owe us accountability. You owe us every single responsibility that we are demanding of you. So it's not rocket science. You can't sit there and tell us, oh, we are doing great, economy is looking good, and all of that. And people still walk around begging for their daily bread. It doesn't make any sense. So please, let's take a leaf from countries that are doing better and do better as a country. We are 65 years old. I was telling my guest yesterday, a 65-year-old man is a grandfather. And that means he has his prime. He has done a lot of things. So if at 65, you are still a bachelor, I don't know what to say, but yes, that's all the story that caught my interest today. I'm going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our conversation for tonight. Don't go anywhere.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, We will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Talking about and the Nigerian beyond the rhetoric, right? Before we dive in, please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Also, our phone lines are open. You can call on 0702-500-7749 and also on 0701-4242-420. Let's hear your thoughts. Now, yesterday, President Bola Tinubu assured young Nigerians that his administration will continue to give them wings to fly. He pointed to initiatives like the NEL Fund, entrepreneurship schemes, and youth-focused programs as proof of his commitment. But with unemployment still a major concern, the Japa wave draining our brightest minds, and many struggling to assess these opportunities, the big question remains, are these promises enough to truly empower Nigeria's youth, or are they just hopeful words? Joining me to unpack all of this is Kudus Alalafia, a legal practitioner. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, Madam Chioma. I hope I got the name right.
Absolutely, you did.
Thank you for having me on the program tonight.
That's all right. Thank you for being here.
So
let's quickly dive into it. When the president tells the youth, right, I'll continue to give you wings to fly, what exactly should that actually translate to in action?
Okay. The reality of the statement from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ordinarily, for us Nigerians, especially we youths, it ought to mean a real pointer to what we should expect from the president, which is prosperity, unity, security, opportunity, as well as human dignity. But the truth is that whatever comes out of every politician, whatever comes out from their mouth, I really believe it at this level that we are. Except if we will be deceiving ourselves. Nobody should be cajoled. Nobody should be sweet mouth again on the ground that somebody has promised heaven and the earth. We should, if everything will go on as planned, we should be able to hold our leaders, our politicians. We should be able to hold them accountable to whatever they tell us. But the funniest thing is that even in law, whatever anybody is a mere puff. Mere puff means, yes, the person is just saying it, for saying sake, and all persons, individual Nigerians, to either take it or leave it. But for me, I think the yardstick at which we should be believing whatever comes out of every politician, from the president, now I'm taking it, to the vice, to all the members of the Federal Executive Councils, they are all politicians. To even the so-called opponents, whether what we should be using as yardstick as of today
Barrister, are you still with us? I'm struggling to hear you.
Family as
Barrister? Barrister, are you still with us? Okay, we'll go on a very short break and then we'll sort that out. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, welcome back. We're still talking about the Nigerian dream and the youth and how we can translate rhetorics to actions. And I'm talking to Barrister Lalafia. Barrister, are you with us now?
yes, very well. I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yes, yes. Please speak up from where you stopped, because I stopped hearing you at
Thank
some
you very
point.
much. Yes,
Yeah.
I was. Okay, thank you very much. I was saying that we shouldn't be taking whatever our leaders, and in this regard, all politicians, we shouldn't be taking it so serious again. Whatever they are saying should be taken as the word out. And I am now saying that at this juncture, the yardstick or the measurements at which we will be using to decide whether or not we are going to take them serious is their antecedents. Now, the antecedents we are now talking about is about, one, their family affairs. How have they been able to govern, rule over their immediate family? The first one is you will have a leader whose children, from firstborn to the lastborn, schooled outside Nigeria. And such a leader is coming to promise the teeming youths, over 60% of us, that he is going to make the educational sector the best among the world. We have politicians, leaders, that at every point in time they have any small medical issue, as little as headache. They go outside Nigeria to do what we call medical travel. We have leaders that at every point in time they want to take their leave, their annual leave, call it whatever we want to call it. They don't take it, they don't do it here in Nigeria. Aside from engaging medical tourism, they will now use that annual leave they have. You will be surprised that even the president of Nigeria did not even, he went on a 10 days leave. It was outside Nigeria.
Oh, yes.
He did his tourism outside Nigeria. He didn't go to Kudukat branch or went to Ikogusi in, what do you call it? Ikogusi in Osho State, or go to Olumo. But they will always go abroad. Now, We also have part of our so-called activists. With due respect, I don't want to mention names. Everybody knows, hey, this person is an activist, yes. But you are the chairman of your political party and you are also the presidential candidate. All the same at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
So you will see that a lot of things, a lot is wrong with this set of people.
Yeah, but barrister, let me say something. Let me say something, right? Because you're saying, oh, this is a time where we are not going to take these people serious anymore, right? So what do we do? Because we have to move forward at some point. What do we do?
Thank you. Thank you. It begins with us. It begins with me. It begins with you. The first thing we need to do is let the teeming youth be serious with our lives.
How so? How do we do that?
The things we engage in that interest us is very funny. Yeah, the things that interest us is very funny. I can say 50 to 60% of youth go to TikTok. Go to TikTok, go to Instagram and see what the youth are so much interested in.
Okay.
If the youth, number one, can be interested, one, in politics. We want to say we want to take over, Abi. Let's be interested in politics and let's fight with our majority votes. We are supporting so and so. We want to stop what we call gerontocracy, the government of the aged ones. We want to stop it. Now, let's support. Who says we cannot register a political party if we are serious? Who says we cannot now appoint or select or elect someone among us wherein we are going to support the person 100% to go to anywhere he or she wants to be? But we will not do that. We will rather want to worship these aged old men and women because of $100. Because of what we live, the youth live for the moment. You will be surprised that majority of us, that's why I'm also part of the youth, so I'm talking about everybody, including myself. Majority of us down today, you will see that the plan they have is a short-term plan, is for the moment. And that is why the ones that are now serious, to a very large extent, who feels, oh, I believe there is nothing for me in this country, then they engage in what the syndrome we now call JAPA, which is a painful migration. And people migrate because of a lot of reasons. But for me, I have stopped blaming the leaders. I have stopped blaming the politicians. I believe if let's say a legislator, whether in the Senate or there, comes back home, and we all know that this person has not done anything for his constituency, let the man be waving hands from street to street and nobody is attending to him. He will sit tight. But what do we have? It is even the youth that will run right in front of his car, chasing people away, paving way for him, all because of, at the end of the day, the person will bring out 50,000 naira and give to them.
Anyway.
And the slogan you will hear at that point is, at least we've gotten that of today. So for me, I believe the youths of today, we have a lot to do. The truth is that we are in the majority. And that the tenet of democracy is majority. But then we have a tool, but we are handicapped. Why? Because of our selfishness, because of our self-centeredness, because of our myopic thoughts, and because of living for the moment. If the youth can team up, Madam Choma, we will take over this country by 2027.
All right. Anyway, I mean, I get it. But you see, the times we have tried these things, I understand you perfectly, right? But I'm trying to bring out realistic scenarios that have played out. Look at NSAS, right? The youth came out in their numbers. The people that were killed were killed. The people that now currently live with amputated parts of their bodies are there. Some were sent to jail, right? And then also 2023, the youth were very, very, interested in politics. But then it felt like all our efforts were washed down the drains. And right now, it's now looking like, what else can we do, right? So I don't know if I would totally fault you, but yes, I understand. I agree that we have to take our lives more seriously because this is all the country. This is what we have. It's Nigeria that we have. We don't have another country.
Yeah, I agree. But it appeared we are mixing things up here.
Okay.
It appeared we are mixing things up.
Let me hear you, sir.
Now, in 2020,
okay,
fantastic, we faced the authorities. What happened in 2020 was a scenario where you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, yes.
Good, good. What I am saying is that I am not saying we should stand against the authorities.
Yes.
I am saying we should take back. Now, come back to 2023 when we had election. Except if we want to deceive ourselves. After all, I'm a Nigerian. I live in Nigeria. I live in Abuja. I have friends around me. Not the kind of effort, unity that we experienced in 2020, NSAS, was not what we experienced in 2023.
Agreed.
Ask me why.
I agree, yes.
Ask me why. Ask me why.
Why?
It is at the point of election that the youth suddenly remember religion, ethnicity, tribe, godfatherism, and favor somebody else has done for them or their family member or something. I cannot betray. We are not ready. That's just a simple thing. You will be surprised that if you go on Instagram and X, as former Twitter, you will be surprised that in 2027, you will see youth as, yes, we are hungry. That's the truth. The pot is empty. There may be a lot of yams everywhere. I was telling somebody, I said, well, no matter the GDP of Nigeria, I believe that the primary function of every government is to make three things comfortable for the people.
Okay.
Clothing, shelter, and food. You will be surprised that you give all these Instagram content creators, they will go to the street, give somebody 20,000 and the person will be rolling on the floor.
Yes, I mean, we're seeing it every day.
And you put it in your brain to imagine the kind of suffering such a person is going through. Now, so what I am now saying in essence is that when it comes to that election period, it is always as if there is something they used to watch. It is always as if the youth are suffering from dementia. That we suddenly forget what we are facing or what we have faced in time past. And whether we like it or not, the youth voted for Tinubu. Same way they voted for Atiku. Same way they voted for. Should, and I'm saying that at this level that we are, should we even be voting for any one of these people? Can't we just come together and set up our own, political party? These things are very possible.
They are. If
we have the will, it is very, very possible. After all, I was once a student union leader in my school. You will be surprised that, let me even give you some confidential information. I will not mention names. Some people will lead students to the government house. And before you know it, the leaders of that protest will be coming up with yams. Tubers of yam, money. And you'll be like, okay, now you've led people there. What is your pure intention? What is the real intention behind that protest? Is it for this yam? And we think Baba Tinubu was joking when he said, is it for the cassava gari? He knew what the youth.
Oh.
He knew. He want, see, among we youth, I can bet it with you that less than 10% of us are serious.
Sadly.
Less than 10% of us. What? See, and it's very easy to appease Nigerian youth mind, though. Very easy. Let me cite an example. During election or about to election, you will just see one leader, one either legislator or one minister or one commissioner. He just go back to his constituency, put granite on the road, and they was like, he has started working, you know. He's our son. What are we going to do? Before you know it, and after the election, after you voted that person, erosion will come and wash away the entire thing, back to square one. So what I am saying, the way I see it, is when you are expecting reactions from a fact, which is in this regard now the leaders, and you are not seeing it, then you turn to the other part, which is in this regard now we youth. If a child born by a parent could stand on his or her feet to say, my parent, this is my decision, it therefore means that it is not in all cases that our parents are always right. There are some instances where the children have stood against their parents, and whatever they stood for, today they are reaping the fruit positively now, the fruit of their labor. So it's not in all cases that we need to lick the foot and the slippers of these people. And only if we are.
Yes, I hear you. But now let's come to another angle that really interests me, because this is something we've seen happen over time, you know, in the country. So now in Nigeria, where connections often, you know, matter more than merit. Someone said, oh, you can have a first class, but if you don't know anybody, that's your business, you know. So in a situation where connection is more important than that merit now, how can young people without influential backers get real opportunity in this country?
Thank you. You know, if you look at the way the way the law has stationed the procedure to be at the forefront, everything comes back to the majority, to that number, to that simple majority.
Okay.
Now, the so-called connection, the way we use it often is when you are seeking an opportunity. When you are seeking an opportunity, maybe to get a job, maybe to get something done.
Yeah.
You know, when you know the right people, they call it connection now.
Yes.
But when it turns sour, they call it option. Now, if you see, the way we are looking at it is that we are looking at it, it is a stone that we cannot turn.
Okay.
The question is, if we team up together to establish our own political party, will they stop us? The answer is no. They won't. 2, okay, it is only APC we want to join. It is only PDP. These agent people have taken over. They've taken over in the sense that no youth can ever be able to raise the money to even buy the form for a governor, deputy governor, not to talk of vice president or president. And let a youth dare try raise that money. EFCC will invite him the following money, so that you can come and explain where you found the money. But I'm saying, why don't we abandon? You know, now that I'm saying the youth, I am referring to us as a youth in Nigeria.
Yes.
Why don't we come together? I'm still saying that. Why don't we come together? Let us go and register our own political party with INEC. There is no law that says we can't do it all. When we now register, let's make sure we comply with all the statutory provisions. Now, when the time of election now comes, let's vote for our people, for our peasants.
Okay.
But in fact, let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's go back to the unions, to the student union government. After all, that is an epitome of what the government is doing today. Go back to the student union government, where we have the youth governing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
How have they been able to run, to govern themselves? The money they've given to them, somebody was telling me in 2019, I was discussing with somebody, and somebody was like, Kudus, do you know that if the youth could, take over, it would be so good? I said, yes, only that we'll turn the Aso Rock into a club.
I mean, bringing it back to us being serious now.
Exactly, just being serious. I am not saying that some of us are not serious.
Yes.
Of course, I'm part of those that are serious. They are in the minority.
Yes.
And I'm going to use an analogy that one my class teacher in secondary school gave to me. I was in SS2. I went to meet him. I said, sir, oftentimes I am not always making noise. I'm not always doing anything in class. I was always silent. Why is it that whenever teachers come into our class, they flog everybody? Why? Can't they just identify the ones that are making noise? What them and leave the ones that are saying? Because my seat was always in the right at the front. And my class teacher said, Kudus, it is not done that way. It is by way of majority. Which class is making noise? That's the question. Which of the classes is making noise? Oh, it is A1. Flog them all. Now, whether you were not sitting in the front or at the back and you did not join them is immaterial at that point. So, what I am saying, look at what they were doing in Burkina Faso. Who took over government? I am not saying the youth should take over government through that means. Mm-hmm. I need to be cleared. But I am saying that if you look at the way the military overthrown the government, I mean the civilian government, if the civilians are not in support of that civilian government, I think by now they should one way or the other, there should have been a change in government.
All right.
What I am saying in essence, is that if the youth use our volume, our majority number, let's forget the issue of connection. We are talking connection comes with when you are seeking something from somebody. We are not seeking anything from anybody again. We want to take over. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Barrister.
You don't need any qualification. You don't need any certificate. You just need ourselves. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're going to go on a very, very short break. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking about the Nigerian dream and the youth. And we're asking how and when the rhetoric will translate to action. And I have Barrister Kudus Alalafia with me. Barrister, are you still here? Yes, you are. Okay, so I'm going to
very
ask...
Well. I'm with
yes,
you. Very well. Very well.
Yes. So I was going to ask you before I went on that break. We've seen the youth of Nigeria exploring the creative space, exploring the tech sectors. We've seen those sectors grow. Now, do you see them as plausible escape routes or, as crowded, precarious paths that everybody is just entering into? What do you think?
Yes, I think I see it more of the former than the latter. I see it as an escape route.
Okay. At
least it shows some level of accomplishment, seriousness, determination. I mean, if you look at the set of people that we have there, and you compare with those that we see on TikTok, the set that we see on Instagram, you would want to pick the former than the latter. What I just want, and I will be addressing everybody, I will be addressing we youth today. I think we should stop this lamentation. where we should just stop it and let's start taking the right actions. This set of people that call themselves our leaders, you will see that these are the set of people that enjoyed Nigeria the most.
Yes.
When Nigeria was Nigeria. Free education, free food, everything nearly free. But as of today, they could not give back what our forefathers gave them. So they betrayed 2 generations. The current leaders of today, they betrayed 2 generations. They betrayed the lives of Awolowo. Because those ones that when they were doing it with the sole mindset of, oh, when we equip you with the right mindset, with the right thing, then you'll be able to transfer it to the next generation. But unfortunately, they betrayed them. They now betrayed their children.
Okay.
So we should just forget about them. And let's start looking towards taking over.
Okay.
Nigerian youth should stop eating for the moment. That is the word. Eating for the moment. You will be surprised that your best friend, your intimate that you've shared out the whole thing, the master plan, will be the one to go and give you this so-called person. And ask the person what they promised him. You'll be surprised that it will be less than 100,000.
I mean, I see that. I hate to admit that that is true. Yes, because I've seen it. You know, I recall an incident that happened one time in my former place of work. So we had protesters come in front of the office protesting a particular story that was pushed out, and then, you know, interviewed them. They seemed very agitated, and then after the whole thing had died down, they moved, you know, away from there. And then luckily one of us, you know, went to get lunch. And it was, they were just beside the restaurant where she went to get lunch. Only for her to overhear conversations saying, no be waiting on a promise us. So you say you go give us 5,000, waiting be this 2,000 that they give us. And, you know, it was so beautiful because we captured it and we gave it, you know, made it as a backup to the story we already pushed out. So yes, I hate to agree with you, but that's really true. But now let me come to the Japa syndrome that we're seeing amongst the youth right now. And I don't know what they say, but I believe that to curb the Japa syndrome, that's why they've even increased the price of, you know, doing your international passport and all of that. But now, the migration is a lot these days. So do you think the promise of the wings that the president promised us, do you think it's coming a bit too late right now? Because, I mean, the youth don't seem to, that promise does not hold water where they are. So what do you think?
Sorry. You know, when I wanted to start this discussion, I said, whatever comes out from it, anybody can say whatever they like.
Yeah.
But nobody should take it. It will be a criminal offense for anybody to take it to heart. You shouldn't even take it to your pocket, not to talk of heart. Just leave it. Just let anybody can say whatever they want. You are taking these people so serious. You know, sometimes you will be wondering when our leaders talk on the TV, you will be wondering if they are not in constant connection with the realities.
Yeah.
It is the gods for me. It is the gods. The way they see us as, let me, if I can use that word, mumu. It is very obvious, even right there, those people you are addressing, it is right glaring on their faces that they are not happy, that they are hungry. And whether they let the money be more than high, if there is any other word we can use for high, I mean inflation in the migration process, people will always migrate. I think what we have failed to realize is that people do not only migrate just because they want to eat. People do not only migrate because because of wealth. People migrate because of security.
Yes. Yes. I mean, Barrister, before I let you go.
Things are happening outside there.
Yes. I mean, I'm so sorry, but we're pressed for time. So before I let you go, in 1 minute, what accountability mechanism, right, should exist to measure whether government's wings are real and not just words. So what should we put in place to hold them accountable for these promises that they've made, promises that they've made us? 1 minute,
Yes,
please.
thank you very much. Number one, the accountability starts from us. Okay. Anybody that is promising us anything during their manifesto, let's take it. Let's have a copy of their manifesto. So that whatever you have promised us after 4 years, when you are coming back, then you will be thinking. You said you were going to do this, you didn't see it. Now they're saying they transferred over 5 billion or 3 billion to Nigerians. No, even people around me, I didn't see anybody that testify to it. Where is the money? So let the accountability start from we Nigerians taking them on at all times. That's the first one. Number two, the Nigerians are also the ones in charge of all these institutions, police, EFCC,
barrister,
ministries, and parastatals. Nigerians are dead. The so-called, yes, I'm with you. I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
hear
now.
Me? Let Nigerians in the places of authorities, after they remove the former Registrar General of CSC, we see members of staff is exit. Yes. Let's do that. Let's do that a lot, so that at least the world outside there knows about all these things. Recently, there is another one they did with Ministry of Finance, a director that just recently they went into boggled him out. You know, so if you have not done well, we shouldn't come with Ankara to come and welcome you. We should embarrass you. Yeah. I think when we do that, it attracts the world to that person. And I think so far, our leaders are prone to reaction, are prone to quickly retracing their steps when they see that the world is looking at them.
All right.
But you see all this formal standard of all this formality, let's not set it aside. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barrister. Thank you so much for your brilliant insights. And yes, like you said, we should stop celebrating rubbish. If I have to use that word, we should stop celebrating rubbish. We should call, and yes, there should be a repercussion. There should be a punishment when you enter an office and don't do well. I mean, I think that would deter people from, vying for all of these positions when they know, oh, when you come out and when you go in there and don't do anything, when you're coming out, something like jail time is waiting for you, right? When you're coming, you will come correct. But anyway, thank you for being with us tonight, and we hope to have you some other time, Barrister. All right, guys. So, you see, the president's promise of wings to fly sounds like hope, yes. But wings without wind, without lifts, they are just hollow metaphor. And many young Nigerians already carry heavy burdens. I'm talking joblessness. I'm talking a spiraling cost of living, unreliable power, poor roads, and limited access to, capital and markets. For wings to mean something in this context, they must be grounded in real support, infrastructure, fair access, not having to cut corners or go through somebody that knows somebody like we do here. Honest governance and accountability. So tonight we hold that presidential promise up to public sight. If wings are given, let them not be clipped by neglect. Let them not be clipped by corruption or broken systems. Let them soar because youth have the tools and the state have the integrity to carry them forward. Anyway, that's what we have for you tonight. And before I go, please ensure you go to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV and you subscribe. Interact with us further. Drop your comments. And most importantly, we've got engagements all across social media. So do engage with us and remember to like, share, comment, follow us, invite your friends and family. Before I go, if you missed our quote, here it is. It says, a nation that does not take care of its young will have no future to dream of. And this was said by Kofi Annan. My name is Chioma Kalu, and this has been Waste Primetime. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.